Greetings, fellow FAFers. Today I have a 3 versus 3 average Joe's map. This is on Icelands. It's a pretty standard setup for team games. 3 players opposing each other, a few outlying mechs to expand into, not too awfully much, and pretty even teams. North side, we have the Bush at 1200, 4 at 1200, and Hans Gruber at 1400. That is Cybern, UEF, and Seraphim. South side, we have Heretic as Seraphim, Akonibus as Aeon, and a UEF choice for Momo Chilla. So that is our players and our teams, and we'll see how this goes. Bump up the speed as always. We do have an early raid, which is kind of an unusual choice on a map like this, where you do have a choke in the center. But it is an attempt from 4. Scouts out as well for all of the southern players. We do have a tank out that's going to pick up this Mech Marine. And a successful kill for this Mantis. And a run by this tank up here. This is one of the things that I hate most in a game, is when you get a tank behind you and you have to divert resources all the way around the back to get that one annoying tank that slipped by you. He's just going to lie in wait until an unsuspecting engineer happens upon him. Although this Mantis down here, we do have a successful run by. He did pick up an engineer over here, but is not going to be successful past that. There is some mass in the center of this map. Usually not too much of an ACU fight over it, but there are 2 ACUs trading blows in the center. There are some rocks on the sides as well, it looks like. North is picking up the left and south is picking up the right, so pretty even dispersal. Akonibus is trying to push with his Auroras, but this point defense here, he was able to kill it. I mean, was not able to kill it. He's going to try right now. Point defense is the bane of the Aurora. I believe I mentioned it on another cast. At one time, there was a point defense that I saw that got over 80 kills on Auroras. Point defense with walls is very strong versus them because of the low health. Do have T2 on the field from Hans Gruber. He is the first to make it to tier 2, I believe. This is dangerous. Akonibus has pushed all the way up and has gotten tanks in behind the Bush. Probably not going to be real successful because there are tanks nearby, but it is going to pick up an engineer, possibly a power generator, but is quickly knocked out. Momo has successfully dropped on the right side. There are 2 mass extractors up on the hill, so not a huge deal if you don't have it, but this looks like if you could get mobile missile launchers up, that would be in range of this position here. That would depend on either dropping or getting a tier 2 factory. Challenging drop coming in from Hans Gruber. Neither team is really building much air. Red has some interceptors, but he's really just sitting on them. Not a whole lot of need for them. Neither team is being very aggressive at all with drops. This tank back here is being an absolute hero. He has 6 kills, as of yet undetected. And death by spam. The worst way to go. Oh, share is off, so that is going to leave this whole right side wide open. Tier 2 point defense covering a small push. It appears that Heretic does not have radar coverage. His point defense is not firing until it comes into visual range with these units right here. Momo needs to go around this outside. He's keeps sending his units to the center, but I mean, this is wide open over here. If he were to swing around, he has plenty of spam. That would definitely be a good place to hit. 4 is trying to build some walls. Oh, low health. And we now have 50-50 split on map control again. Then the top right and the bottom left player have been eliminated. Still though, not understanding why either player, neither side is really exploiting these. Just kind of covering the gap and letting sleeping dogs lie, I guess. Orange is going to push some. Still though, not pressing the advantage. That is not real good. Not real good play. Momo is trying for a tier 2 point defense creep here, but 4 seems to have enough mobile missile launchers to keep him at bay. And the mighty Ilsheva descends upon the base. T2 gunships out for Akonibus. And all of the interceptors on the other team were held by Hans Gruber. So Orange is trying to get up some air. 4 has just a little bit, but most of the interceptors were held by the player that died. Large tack launch. Killing off some build power. T2 mass extractors. I have another tack launcher here in the center base, although no, there it is. There is tack defense. Slow it down just a little bit here. See what each team is seeing. Scouting looks pretty good for the southern team. A little lacking on radar, but fairly good overall. And actually 4, it appears, was building that TMD on reflex, because they do not have much of this scouted at all. They need to be pushing some scouts and getting some radar up, because this is pretty abysmal coverage. Still getting tack launched in this base. Does not have a T2 engineer to send back. He lost his T2 factory. And now it appears things are at a bit of a stalemate. The north side definitely has a better portion of the map control, although as far as mass income goes, Momo is far and away above most of the other players, although part of that is because he is reclaiming. Tack launcher still firing away over here for the bush, although now he's losing his base. This map has stayed pretty much symmetrical. What's happening to the southern team happens to the north team. And so on and so forth. Finally gonna see some pushing on the right side in this empty territory. Massive land force here. This could be dangerous, but at the same time, both ACUs are getting pushed back in the center. Some T2 fighter bombers out for Momo. This is not looking good for his base up here. There are a lot of pillars in there. Looks like enough to break this base. Ilshiva's coming in for Momo. Point defense will save him, and 4 has denied that push. Although down here in the south, we can see the Bush has finally gotten some interceptors up to cover all of this against gunships and fighter bombers. And he has managed to clean out Green's base. I'm seeing some critical mistakes for both sides and some really good things for both sides. Honestly, right now, either team could win. Blue has enough fighter bombers if he... No, he's going to dive into flak. There's one of those critical mistakes. Down here, this group of Ilshivas is making headway into Momo's base. This is looking worse for the southern team. Momo has pulled his ACU back to try and defend on this left flank. And apparently, Akonibus has decided that he has plenty in this center base and sees no need to expand. Throwing up a T3 shield. He does have T3 on his comm. 1 vet on there. It looks like Momo also has T3 on his commander. Or is sitting on T2 as well as the Bush. Such cautious movement. I don't think I've ever seen anyone have this many units and play this conservatively. It just really doesn't make sense to me. Although it could be that these are Turtle players used to playing Turtle games, and while they're building units, they're basically treating their units like a Turtle. Do have T3 on the field from 4. He is pushing demolishers. Some really good area of effect on T3 mobile artillery. They can stand back at a distance like this and really put some hurt down on groups of units like this. Both teams are clumping their units together, so that makes it a prime target for T3 mobile artillery. We do have a fat boy on the way from 4. And Momo just does not add the eco to keep up with these players. This looks like a downhill run. Needs to get some storage on these mechs. He is building them, but he's building them very late. Going T3 before the mass extractor upgrade, before building storages around them. Momo still has enough units to deny the space here. We do have a Galactic Colossus going up in the center. That is probably strictly off of resource allocation and reclaim. Doing a really good job so far of speed building that GC, but I don't think he will get it done before this fat boy is done. Momo having to move his units around a little bit in the face of this demolisher fire. We do have a couple of Titans and a Percival. And then T3 also coming on the field from the Bush. Pushing T3 mobile artillery as well. Both ACUs are in a pretty good fire base right here and will soon have a GC to protect themselves with. So this is going to have to be broken. I'm not sure if there's enough units on either side to break Momo's base. Fat Boy is online. And GC is less than halfway done. I don't think they will be able to pull out of this one. See if they have a miracle up their sleeves. Push on the right side. So many T2 units, even though Momo does not have T3. When you have that many shields and that many pillars in one spot, that is a deadly, deadly group of tanks. Push from the left by the bush. Oh my. Momo has actually broken 4's line. He may be able to kill this fat boy. Although this right here, this is game ender. T3 units and T2 hitting from the southern side. This is going to be a race against time. We have spam coming down on gray and spam coming down on the southern two. Momo is going to go up. First to die. Akonibus does not have power storage, so he will not be able to overcharge, and he goes up as well. And that is game. I do wish that we could have seen a little bit more pushing from one team or the other. That is the danger of playing team games. When you get comfortable for too long, you just don't want to push. And there was a point right there where if either team had pushed on one side or the other, the southern team could have ended it quickly, or the northern team could have ended it quickly. So, of course, hindsight's 20/20, but still, everyone needs to learn, including me. All right, well, that is another game. Thanks for watching, guys.